Enterprise Harness is a powerful tool for the 3D design of electrical cabling and harnessing. It helps to seamlessly combine the worlds of mechanical and electrical engineering. Enterprise Harness overcomes many of the issues with existing harnessing solutions in the market, as users don't need previous experience with the rules and techniques that are needed to run most mechanical 3D CAD tools. The software also has a unique ability to represent the 3D geometry in a very lightweight format, overcoming many of the performance issues that typically come with complex designs. Electrical design and the complexity of wiring design is only getting more sophisticated. More complex systems are being put into smaller products every day with stricter space, electromagnetic, and thermal requirements than ever before. Traditional methods for specifying wire harnesses can involve measuring wiring paths on either a physical prototype or 2D drawing layout, or just making an intelligent estimate based on model geometry. Commonly, this leads to errors and the need to redesign, especially as tolerances and model requirements become tighter. Design changes not only delay product release timelines, but put greater burden on designers to document those adjustments. These traditional methods generally dictate that wiring happen towards the end of the design process, where it has the greatest impact on product release timing if things go wrong. With a software package like Enterprise Harness, the wiring design can be brought forward and completed simultaneously with the mechanical and electrical design, safe in the knowledge that any changes can be easily accommodated. By reducing multiple prototyping steps, the product can be released to market more efficiently. Completing the full model design, including a 3D representation of the wiring, allows designers to finally have a complete digital design of their products, with all wiring elements correctly represented and optimally designed. Enterprise Harness allows all wiring details to be represented in the master SOLIDWORKS model, providing a true digital twin of your product. An enterprise layout allows us to effectively document that in a 2D format. Enterprise Harness operates as a standalone software solution combining data from two key sources. The 3D CAD is imported from SOLIDWORKS and combined with electrical circuit information in the form of a from-to list, which can easily be exported by SOLIDWORKS Electrical Schematic or another tool. Enterprise Harness combines these two elements to route the appropriate wires and cables while remaining responsive to both mechanical and electrical design changes. While Enterprise Harness supports manual routing of harnesses, it is most powerful when used to automate from a from-to list. Here in Enterprise Harness, the 3D model has already been imported, and the second piece of information needed is the from-to list, exported from the schematic design tool in spreadsheet format. The from-to list contains information about all the connectors that will become part of the wiring harness. The interface shows both the designator of that connector and a preview of the connector geometry. By dragging that item to a corresponding board side connector, the connector will snap easily into place using relationships built into the Enterprise Harness library. Once all connectors have been placed, we go back to the from-to list to read in wire and cable information with the click of a button. The cables that need to be connected now appear in a list, and the red color on the cable name indicates that they are not yet routed. Each has the appropriate wiring, pin, and color information read from the from-to list. Clicking on an individual cable shows a preview in 3D space of the items that will need to be connected by a wiring harness. Moving over to the routing panel, we can start to plan the wiring pathways. We can start a route at one of the connectors, and by clicking in 3D space, start to plan a general route for the wire. Clicking the terminating connector completes the route. Now this first attempt at this route has an issue. The wires pass through sheet metal. However, the route can easily be manipulated by clicking a point on the route and using the simple drag handles to reposition the wire path. Extra control points can be added with an easy right click, and the route can be manipulated until it is correct. Additional tools are available to perform interference checks. Now that the route has been established for this connection, in the cable panel we can mount the appropriate wires to this route. These are automatically mapped to the path, the route is sized to fit the correct diameter of wires, and the name of the cable turns black. Once this has been done, the individual wires can be viewed. Normally the interface displays a simplified representation of the route, but a quick toggle allows the actual wires to be displayed. This process is now repeated across the model, adding and merging route elements, auto-wiring cables to those routes, and manipulating the pathway to produce the optimal fit with the rest of the design. With the 3D model complete, it's a simple task to generate an associative 2D representation of the design. Both harness schematic drawings and detailed cable manufacturing drawings can be produced. Enterprise layout is provided as a separate license, meaning that either the harness designer or a dedicated detailer can perform the drawing generation tasks. Creation of either type of drawing starts from within Enterprise Harness, where we first need to generate a drawing output file. For this example, we're going to output just a single harness of this complex design, and to visualize what we're going to output, we'll isolate that particular element on the screen. The Enterprise layout file can be saved from the model tree and saved to a location on disk. This allows this file to be sent over to a dedicated detailer if needed, or in this case, we're going to open the file on the same computer. With the Enterprise Layout application open, we can now bring in the file from the 3D environment. When the file is opened, the model is laid out automatically on the drawing sheet, fitting to the paper size automatically. By default, length dimension labels are automatically applied, along with connector designated labels. The orientation and layout of the cable elements can easily be adjusted by grabbing the simple drag handles at different positions. Breakpoints can be added, allowing the designer to get exactly the layout desired with a simple right-click and manipulation. While dimension labels are added automatically, representing the true length of the harness from the 3D model, ultimate dimensions can also be applied to add extra tolerance or round to an appropriate number. The view on the screen can toggle between the true and alternate dimensions with a single click. Any extra dimensions can be simply added, allowing you to precisely detail the position of coverings, clips, bands, and other harness elements. All details needed for manufacturing can be explicitly defined in this fashion. Right now we're looking at a simplified view of the harness, showing the individual elements of the harness in a representative format. We can toggle this view into a more realistic cable detail view, which will show individual wires and connectors in their true shape. The connector shape here is taken from the shape of the 3D model, and we can also place a connector end view, also from the 3D model, with the first pin marked. Because Enterprise Harness captures complete wiring information, a wire connection list, and a schematic point-to-point wiring diagram can be added to the drawing automatically to help with manufacturing. This information is taken directly from the From To list that originated the design. Rows and columns can be formatted to get exactly the visual style you're looking for. We'll also add a bill of materials capturing the connectors and cables that make up this harness design. All lengths are automatically defined from the true 3D path length in the model, and all other parameters are taken from the information in the Enterprise Harness library. To complete the drawing, we can add an appropriately sized title block by dragging and dropping from our library. And this library also captures symbols, tags, balloons, flags, flyouts, and other model elements. The finished drawing can be printed or saved as a PDF. For more complex multi-branch harnesses, the simpler harness assembly drawing is normally used to detail the design. Starting with the 3D model in Enterprise Harness, in this example, we're going to detail the harness sample isolated on the screen. To do this, we export an enterprise layout file for detailing at the harness level in the design tree. Being able to control exactly which harness elements are exported gives you explicit control over what is going to be detailed. When opening that multi-branch harness in Enterprise Layout, the design is placed on the sheet and automatically fit to size. Again, dimensions can be modified to add tolerance or round off appropriately for manufacturing, and the display of those dimensions can be toggled between the actual and modified values easily. With these more complex designs, branches need to be manipulated for optimal visual clarity. With simple drag handles and intuitive controls, the design can easily be repositioned and reorganized on the drawing sheet. Holding the Shift key on the keyboard controls how the model moves as the drag handles are manipulated, which becomes very useful for large, complex harnesses. Dimensions can be added to completely detail all the elements of the harness, allowing the manufacturing team to know exactly where to place each critical element of the design. Again, title blocks for the appropriate paper size can be placed with a simple drag and drop from the library in the right pane. And for additional detailing, flags and balloons can be added along with matching notes to describe any extra information needed for manufacturing. As in the cable drawing, A wire list and bill of materials can be automatically generated with row information filled out automatically from the originating design and placed on the sheet. However, with a more complex design, there is often limited space for these drawing elements. Enterprise layout allows for multiple sheet drawings, and on this master sheet, the tables should be positioned off the printable region. On the second sheet, accessed from the tabs at the bottom of the drawing view, the viewport can be manipulated to focus on those tables so that they print clearly on a second page. This approach is similar to that used by AutoCAD and many other 2D CAD tools and provides detailed control to get the perfect printed output for the final design. Customers that have used Enterprise Harness report significant improvements in their wiring design processes. One precision instrumentation manufacturer was having consistent problems with wiring causing issues during field installation, but after adopting Enterprise Harness, those problems were greatly reduced. Having a complete digital model of the wiring within the product gave them confidence that they would be able to consistently release products on schedule and not be derailed by late production issues. For more information about Enterprise Harness, to see a demo, or to speak with an expert, get in touch with us at our site or by email.